Hello, Internet Nation. Alexander here. Today, I did, I guess, the first 0.5 second step to going to school and went into a crystal shop. Therefore, it is time for a life update. So. After rubbing my third eye for like 2 weeks straight, the last time, second to last time that my friend was here, we went to a crystal shop and I could not hang whatsoever. And had a horrible time every time we went into a spiritual shop because the energy was just so strong. It felt like I was drowning, kind of. Like, well, not necessarily drowning, but you know that feeling of when your body is fully submerged in cold water and you kind of like can't breathe and your body goes into shock? It was very that. So much so that some random person came up to me while I was talking to my friend and went like, yeah, I could totally tell that you feel that way, because I was telling my friend how I felt like I was drowning in cold water. And they recommended a stone, and then I grabbed the stone, bought the stone, and now I want to say now keep the stone close, but I always forget it, and I don't even know where it is right now, because I think I grabbed it at some time at like 6 in the morning to work with, and then have no idea what happened to it then. So it's in here somewhere. But that was the last time when my friend was here, second to last time, because they were here a few days ago, and we went to FlameCon together. That was then, and that was a horrible, horrible time, because, like, it started, we went to Enchantments, and then worked our way down 14th Street, visiting all those shops. And in Enchantments, I had this weird feeling, but I just chalked it up to too much sensory input, because sometimes if there's certain smells in the air, it'll like upset me, because my equilibrium is very delicate and there's certain things that my body does not like. Certain smells are one of those things. So I figured it was just because of the smells. Granted, it probably was just because of the smells, because Enchantments they don't have crystals, I don't think. I don't think they sell a lot. It's definitely not like a crystal store that you would walk into and there's a whole bunch of different crystals in there. But we went there, and then as soon as we left, I felt better, and I just figured it was the smell. Could have been the energy. And we continued to another crystal store, and then every store we went into, I just felt horrible. Like, my body was cold, and I was struggling to breathe, and I kind of felt like I was going to pass out. And then by the time we got to, I don't remember the name of the store. It's one of the stores on 14th, on like First Ave, but not. It's one of the really little one. I don't know what it's called, because I don't know. I usually go to Namaste, you know. But anyway, that's the store where we found that individual, and they told me about the stone. And then after that, well, granted, after that, I had the stone and I was holding it in my hand the entire time. And after I started holding it, I didn't feel like I was drowning in ice cold water anymore. My door opened, and it is not fully closed. Anyway, after that, can't really. There's like a bunch of energy running around in front of my face, which is funny because they kind of look like eye floaties, but they're not like the black eye floaties. They're just kind of like floaties. I don't know. Either I'm sitting on a spirit or they're just in front of my face. I don't know why they would be on the table. Anyway, work with spirits has been interesting. I figured out why I lost my sight. Don't necessarily know what I need to do to get it back, because the spirit that took it just told me to give it time. Which I guess I just want to know what steps I need to take in order to be on the right path, you know? I'm tired of everybody telling me that I'm trying to move too fast because, like, I am going at the rate that I'm going. Yes, I want to get there fast. I would like to be there now, but there's only so much I can do, you know? You know? So that's where I am on that. Today I went into a crystal shop because there was a crystal shop across the street from the school I went to fill out the information for financial aid. And while I was at the crystal shop, I didn't feel like I was dying. I mean, there was a moment where my third eye kind of felt like somebody was slowly hitting it with an ice pick, but that's because I was like tightly clutching a piece of Tektite, like my life depended on it. I was very excited to find Tektite. You don't usually find Tektite or any type of moldavite. Well, I guess any type of Tektite because moldavite is in the Tektite family. But you don't usually find those stones for like really good prices. And they had like little tumble stones for really good prices, which was exciting. So after I started clutching that, I felt less stable. I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works. I feel like I'm not the most receptive when it comes to crystal energies, which is why it struck me as so weird when I went into that store or went into those stores and was just having a horrible time. Meaning, I guess I am pretty sensitive to those energies because my friend wasn't feeling that way. And she can actually see spirits and all this shit, so she would be more in tune with the energies of crystals and shit, you would think. Yet, like, here I am with my fucking shaman stones that I'm using as earrings today on top of the shaman stones that I wear on my necklace for King Belial. Yeah, and then I have a Herkimer diamond down here with some moldavite on it. Just a little piece of moldavite. And I forgot what that stuff is called. It starts with a P. I got it from Etsy and it was part of a necklace and then the necklace broke. But I have PB cleansing my stones that I got today. That's his little altar. Well, it's a pretty big altar. It takes up the entire 75% of the top of the cage. The entire up there is his altar, and I add stuff to it gradually. Maybe one day I'll show you guys, but I don't know. I would like to see him first. Because there's a lot of depictions of him, but it's based off of how my friend sees him. You know? So I'm gonna wait until I can decipher what he looks like to decide if I want to change things up, you know, maybe make my own drawing of him. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I could just like channel an image, which is what a lot of people do when working with the demonic and type shit. That's how we have these images of what these entities even look like. But anyway, that's a concern for another day. Anyway, it's not much of an update. In the time in which I started, I could not go into crystal shops, and now I can go into crystal shops. Then again, I guess it also could depend on like how clean everywhere keeps their crystals, you know? Because like Rockstar, the store that I went to, seems like a pretty put together place, really cute and all that stuff, and they have everything organized really nicely. And it's not just like thrown together, kind of. I don't know. Who knows? It just didn't feel horrible in there. I guess when I see another spiritual store, I'll go in there and see how I feel. Either way. I don't know. I would like to know more about this stuff, especially when it comes to like energies and how people process energies, because my friend says that these stones specifically are very zingy to her, and like I just cleansed all the negative energy out of your space. You're welcome. I wonder if that works on the phone, over video. Anyway, it relaxes my brain. But anyway, she said that these guys are really zingy. And, like, these are the guys that I keep closest to me. They're always with me at any given time. Before, they were on a different necklace, and now they're on this one that I wear every day. And then she said that these guys weren't so zingy, which, I don't know, I assume that's because I work with these guys, and these guys were just hanging out. I think Paimon agrees. He has a little bell on the bed that he likes to ring, which is funny because I can't wait till I can see him, because it would be funny if he's just sitting on the bed ringing the bell like that. But who knows? Energy is funny. Energy is funny, and I can't wait to be more in tune with the world. But I am noticing that that is going to take a lot of trauma work, which should be fun, because ever since I let the devil, King Belial, into my life, I have not had many a day in which I wasn't being triggered severely emotionally. Like, everything has happened, down to my father going to the hospital, which my father's life is a very sensitive topic to me. I love my dad. Would possibly have a whole breakdown if anything were to happen to him. He's not allowed to die until after I die. He at least has to wait until I'm like 120, and then he can die. You know, I'll be ready by then. So the fact that, like, that was shortly after, I think that was the day after I made this. My second mom gave me a call talking about, your father's in the hospital. I'm just like, Belial, why are you doing this to me? Can't we start with something small? But I feel like he's just been going through, just like my friend, every time she comes over, she is just a horrible, horrible individual. Like, she gets mad at me for being mean, but, like, she's always rubbing the emotional stuff in my face, and I'm like, I know you're just being yourself and being excited. That's cool. That's fine. But, like, damn, I'm so jealous right now. And sometimes I'd be saying that, just like, damn, I'm so jelly. I think she thinks I'm joking, but I'm being sincere with my emotions. It's like, damn, that's sweet. Wish I had that. Anyway, I'm gonna let her abduct me and then steal all her friends. Well, not steal all her friends. Abduct all her friends so that her friends are my friends. So yeah, now I get to be in love cuddles. Yeah. And all that fun stuff. Maybe meet people and have people that are like me. But anyway, that's a subject for another day. Gotta figure all that shit out, because if I'm starting school soon, I don't think I can be abducted to another state. Not until I finish my degree. But then so many complications, because I can't really stay here. I gotta move to a new apartment, so I'm just contemplating if I want to, like, get an art studio or a storage unit, and then just put all my shit in storage, and then while I'm in school, bounce from, like, my mom's house, my friends' houses, and then just live that nice nomad life for a little while. I don't know, maybe send all my stuff to, like, my friend's house and have them put it all in storage for me, so then I could just, like, store it down there. But then I don't want to complicate her life if she does end up moving, which she should, because it would be great if she could find a place with a room for me. It would be even better if they can find a place with a room for me, because then I could just send all my shit and then a portion of rent, and then just have all my shit in my room by the time I finish, and then get a job, because the school I'm going to has job placement, and after you get certified there, you can work at almost any state. And then if I get a job, depending on where I'm working, I can just transfer over to that state, and then boom, start off with a plus, and then not be a massive financial burden. But let us see where life takes us. I am not going to sit here and dictate and dominate any plans. We gotta wait for jobs to get back to us and see if I get financial aid, and if it's a full coverage, and that has to wait till next week because stuff takes time. Anyway, I'm excited about that. I am going to be going into massage therapy soon, so I can be a certified masseuse. That should be fun because I've always wanted to do energy work and have just been too scared about it. But I was talking to this girl that I have a crush on, and that was like the first time we ever had a conversation, an extended conversation. And I think I told you guys about this, but basically, she reminded me of how I wanted to do massage therapy for the longest time, or at least like something in the fields, because for like before I wanted to pursue Reiki, but then I didn't really know how to go about it. But then I talked to her, and then I remembered that was something I really wanted to do. So it's something I should pursue because, you know, when you're at rock bottom, possibilities are endless. So I looked into that, and then I found the Swedish Institute. So they seem pretty good. They offer a lot of great stuff, and I think that was the school that my friend went to. I don't know. I have to ask her questions and see because she was talking about getting recertified as well. So we shall see where the future leads. I am open to possibilities, and every day I get more open. But anyway, back to the trauma. So I've been working through a lot of trauma lately, or dealing with a lot of trauma lately. I don't know what working through a lot of trauma means. You know, like I process a lot of it, but when it comes down to most of it, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with those emotions. I was telling my friend how I felt because we had a moment with the spirits in my room, and it made me very upset. Not that it happened, I just didn't like being left out, you know, because I can't see anything, and she just keeps telling me all these things that are happening, and I'm like, honestly, I have not released jealousy enough for you to be telling me these things. That's one thing. I can't even see. That's another thing. 3, can you not be in his lap during that? That's a third thing. You know, like it's just a lot to be processing. So I got very sad, and we were talking through it. And then she did a reading. And of course, she had to be the type of person to not ask a question when pulling cards. So then the cards, because they were channeling Rhiannon during, and I don't think that she unchanneled because it's PB's job to unchannel anything that I'm not supposed to be channeling. But I highly doubt that one of my spirit guides is a thing that he's going to go, yeah, I need to get you out of here right now. No, no, no. I highly doubt that. He's banging an agreement, I guess. But anyway, so the cards clocked me, and then my friend was like, "Are you having a moment of abandonment issues right now?" And I told her how I felt, and I was like, "I don't think so." And she was like, "Actually, what you just described are abandonment issues." So I was like, "I guess then." I don't know what you want me to tell you. I don't know. And we had a nice cuddle, and she slept in my bed with me, and we snuggled, and that was nice. And I feel better, if not scared, because that's somebody that I feel connected to. As I told her, I consider her family. So it's hard for me when I feel close to an individual. It's hard for me to be vulnerable because being vulnerable means that that person can now hurt you by not receiving your feelings. Even worse if, like, you don't get much response in return when you're being open. Oh no. But anyway, the first step to forming intimacy is being vulnerable. So, you know, you got to be vulnerable with people you care about so that you give them a chance to receive you, and it's on them whether or not they receive you, and on you whether or not you give them a chance to receive you, and then acknowledge that you have been received. So I made sure to sit there and tell myself that this is love, and that she cared, and that I was cared about, because part of my brain refuses to accept things, especially considering that this is a person whom our relationship has mostly been online for the past 10 or so years, and my brain has a hard time accepting things as reality if it is not happening in person. which is kind of funny because when we first like met in person, it just felt like I knew her for years, and like this wasn't the first time that we were meeting because we already knew each other. Which, granted, we did already know each other. We knew each other for like 10 years. They consider me their best friend, and I'm just like, it would make sense then why you don't feel like a stranger, even after like everything that happened the first night. And I was talking to them, I was telling them how it felt like my social anxiety was being triggered, like there was a stranger in the room, and it was giving me that feeling of there's somebody here and I'm anxious, but it wasn't coming from her because I was already accumulated to her and her being there, and she's one of those people that I can be myself with. And when I can be myself with somebody, like absolutely myself without restraint, then I instantly become comfortable with that person, because then I don't have to try and be somebody else or hide things or watch my words and do all this scientific mumbo jumbo just to have them understand basic English, you know? Or in general, just in general. So I'm like, it feels like somebody's here. So they were like, oh, I think somebody's trying to tell you something. Why don't you do a reading? And lo and behold, there was somebody. It was PB asking me to marry him. But I digress. Anyway, so that's where I am. I now know why I can't see spirits, which, like, I don't know, man. I just want to brute force this, because I know me. I'm a big bitch. I was talking to the spirit, fully unhinged moment right now, but I was talking to the spirit that lives in my house, not this motherfucker that follows me around, like a spirit that is outside in the hallways. Before last night, I told him that he was not allowed in my room because this is a safe space, you know? I don't want to be worrying about random spirits that might possibly be in here. But anyway, I was talking to him outside, and he was telling me how he didn't want to show himself to me because I would be scared. And I was telling him that, like, bro, I'm gonna be scared no matter what. I'm the biggest bitch this world has seen, but the only way for me to not be scared of things is to get used to seeing things. And then once it becomes the norm, you're not scared anymore. You know? Especially if, like, PB is a scary entity. I know he's not gonna hurt me. He might harass me. He's not gonna hurt me. You know? So it's like, if that's something scary that I can get used to, then the other things that just look scary aren't gonna be that bad, you know? So I was telling him that, and I think that the spirit that lives in the house might be the first one that I see. He just be chilling there. I usually kind of like see his presence sitting in the bathtub. It's just like a large black shadow. And my friend said that he looks like a big dude with a bunch of eyes. And we think that he might have named himself after those ghillie suits, because to me he kind of looks like a large Yo Gabba Gabba monster covered in like a lot of fur, just like a large fur guy, I guess, like red guy, except fur instead of like stringy hair with like a bunch of eyes. That's what he looks like to me. So I'm just like, I guess it's okay if you're the first thing I see. If that's what Rhiannon wants, then what am I gonna do? Argue with her? No. I'm not fighting Rhiannon, of all the people. Honestly, I'm not fighting any female deity, because apparently all of my feminine spirit guides are like boss bitches. And I'm too much of a bitch to stand up to a boss bitch. That's not gonna be me. I don't have that in me. I was raised to fear women. So I'm just gonna do what she says. Anyway, I don't know, I'm working on relaxing so I can raise my vibration. I would like to break my brain a little bit more with some LSD. So if you know any good connects, hit my DMs, because I need some of that in my life. especially since it makes me feel more connected to myself, and it would be interesting to be in this mindset, knowing what I know, believing what I believe, fully connected, mind, body, spirit, which is what LSD typically does for me, connects my mind, body, and spirit all into one. And that would be nice, you know? Even if it's just for the relaxing portion. But I don't know, I've never had a wild ass acid trip. Imagine how fun that could be. Probably horrifying, but like, you know, life is horrifying. And honestly, I don't think anything is going to scar me more than watching that guy projectile snot out his nose onto the wall of the building. Nothing is going to scar me more than that, I don't think. But I digress. This is where I am, facing all my trauma, which is funny because Rhiannon said that I wasn't ready, and then I saw that stuff that happened the other night when my friend was here. And I'm like, I guess that's probably why you said that I wasn't ready, because I got so triggered. I'm pretty sure even if I could see what happened, I wouldn't feel better about it because possession, because insecurity. Possession is insecurity. So I guess because insecurity. But I don't know. That was a mistake that we should not have made. I just won't channel. I just won't call certain people and say certain names if I'm not in a diabolical mindset, you know? Like, because there's power in names. That's why they tell you not to say demon names, because that's how you call demons. And apparently half of these motherfuckers are just like, yes, hello? Did you say my name once under your breath while you were reading it in a book? I'm here now. What do you want? Which, like, people don't realize that it's that easy. I remember one time I saw a meme where they were like, somebody was joking where it's like, oh, summoning King Paimon by drawing the sigil, draws a circle, he comes in tap dancing. It's like, it was just a circle, my guy. What about the rest of it? It's really that easy to summon spirits. So watch your tongue, because words have power. And hopefully I shall get it to the point where I can instantly manifest with my words. But do you know how much mental control that takes? So much mental control. And in order to do that, I have to release my shortcomings and my trauma. So we'll hold hands as we go off into the sunset and see how I do that together, I guess. Wish me luck, you guys, and hopefully you join me on this super fun journey of self-discovery and healing, and together we can heal the world by healing ourselves, or whatever the fuck Jesus said. Anyway, until next time, Internet Nation, know that you are loved by this guy. I'm gonna easily grab. And this guy. Yeah, you're loved by this guy and this guy. But she only loves you if you're David. And her brother, I forgot his name, but he never married. He never mattered to me, because have you seen Rebecca? Anyway, bye.